Hello, everybody. You are now listening to the Overflow Podcast with Jae and Joaquin. Lottie-dottie, we like to party. We don't cause trouble and we don't bother nobody. We're just two men who rock the mic, right? What's up, what's up? This is Joaquin.
And I'm Jake.
And we are glad that you have joined us this week on the Overflow Podcast.
.com. No, wait.
It is.
That? No.
That was, wasn't that .com? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Was it GoDaddy?
No. Was
Google. GoDaddy. No, it wasn't.
Well, whatever. It's us now. What's good, mi gente?
Hola. Hola.
So,
Hola. We are here today. How are you?
We are here.
So we are here in the new Batcave.
In the new Batcave.
The new and improved Batcave.
The new Batcave.
With our Puerto Rican Alfredo. Our butler Alfredo.
Oh man. Because we gotta make everything. We gotta make everything Puerto Rican, right? You got two Puerto Ricans on the mic. Everybody's Puerto Rican.
Everybody's well, no, but Alfredo is Puerto Rican.
No, but he actually is Puerto Rican. Yeah.
So anyway, we are back. We're a day. How is it? We are a dollar short and a day late.
A day late and a dollar short.
Right. I was gonna say we were a dollar late and a day short, but
that works too.
I forgot. I've been hilarious to mix it up. Yeah, we had unfortunately, got to pour one out for the homie. Sadly,
not my homie.
Sadly, last night I had to go.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sadly, last night I had to go.
Hold your sister's hand
with my baby sister to go take her beloved Chihuahua, Matador.
El Matador.
He was really sick. He had some kind of kidney degenerative disease. So he had lost the kid. Like he had one functioning kidney, and he was getting worse and worse. So we had to go and put him down last night, put him to sleep. And my baby sister was distraught. So the person that should have gone with her was my other sister.
Right.
But she's in Puerto Rico with moms. They're over there gallivanting, having fun.
Partying it up.
Walking on the beach.
Clubbing.
And then the old man is out in Florida fighting with the emperor, a.k.a. grandma.
Not clubbing.
Nah, just fighting. Or maybe clubbing, like with a literal club.
No, getting clubbed.
Getting clubbed. He just texted earlier. He was like, I can't wait to go home.
Why? Your grandma's dope.
She's dope to you because
I'm not related.
and you only saw her for like a couple of hours.
Very true. Very true.
But apparently, she's driving my dad crazy, and then his two brothers are there. One that's the super duper hardcore progressive liberal, and then the other one who's the hardcore conservative.
You got the super left and the super right.
The super right. And they're sniping at each other, and so my dad is like, I'm just trying to, he's trying to take care of my grandma, and then they unfortunately got to put her in a home, and
Pops being Pops, he's probably
making his little comments,
and he's on both sides, not really agreeing nor disagreeing with anyone. Well,
just to keep the fight.
Yeah.
He might agree with my Uncle Sergio, the conservative.
Conservative, yeah.
But
he's gonna just to keep the excitement. Yeah.
Now, how about
and you wonder where you get it from?
I have no idea. So yeah, that whole family. It's like it's embedded in the Gonzalez gene to pick fights.
Yeah, for real.
Yo, but how about I called my dad the other day, and I was like, hey man, what's up? How you doing? And he put me on speaker. Right, he has me, and that drives me crazy when people put me on speaker without
telling you.
And so I'm like, "Am I on speaker?" And he goes like, "Yeah, you're on speaker." I'm like, "Where am I on speaker?" "Oh, I'm driving to the whatever, to the Walmart, whatever." I'm like, "Oh, who's there with you?" He goes, "It's the uncle you hate." So he said, what do I do?
Which one?
No.
I hate all of them.
No. I said, Trump 2020. Because I'm,
also fanning the flames.
Because I was hoping it was my Uncle Vince, who was the huge lefty progressive guy, and I know that would have drove him insane. But,
in the membrane.
But unfortunately, he was not there.
So it was Sergio?
Yeah, it was the cop uncle, Uncle Sergio.
Right.
The popo. But so I had to go do that last night. Very sad.
So we're here a day
late because I had to go and just be with family, unfortunately. So other than that, pretty lazy weekend. Joaquin had a good time, was chilling. I slept most of the weekend because I was mad tired, and I don't have kids. Whoop, whoop. What about you, Jay? What you been up to?
Well, I'm mad tired now because I was busy all weekend because I do have kids. I honestly, you want me to be honest with you?
Nadie te mandó.
You want to be honest with you? Like, I really don't remember what I did this weekend.
You guys finished the kitchen this weekend, right?
No, we finished the kitchen like last week.
That's right.
And it's not finished. We finished. The countertops came in. But I think I talked about that already. So it's not finished. We're waiting for the cabinets to be refaced.
That's right.
And then we'll put in the backsplash.
Put new faces. You gonna put smiley faces on them?
No,
sad
man.
faces?
It's from New York. I'm gonna put mean mugs.
You gonna put mean mugs?
Like literal
little
mean mugs.
Little mugs that say mean. That would be awesome. I know what I'm getting you for Christmas. The mean mug.
Yeah.
But
I really don't remember what we did this weekend. Like,
yeah, I mean, who knows?
I'm sad right now. That's how memorable it was.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, Mike, that's gonna be sad. She's like, well, we did all this wonderful stuff. And you're gonna be like, oh, I don't remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't you remember?
Right.
We went and caught butterflies with the children.
Yeah, no, I did not do that.
That's right. You'd run away from the butterflies.
I would not from a butterfly,
screaming.
But I would not be like butterfly hunting. Like that's that's too white even for me.
Speaking of butterflies, that just reminds me of one night when we had finished doing some ministry show or something back in the day. We went to
Yo, I really don't remember what I did this weekend.
While I'm talking, you'll remember. So I remember we went to Waffle House to go eat afterwards. So we slide in the booths, and all of a sudden Jay just shoots out from the booth. And I'm like, what's going on? And a bug had flew on the glass. It startled him.
Oh, yo, I remember that. That was the Waffle House in Marietta, right? Who the hell knows? They all look alike.
I don't remember which one it was.
They all look alike. I remember that. It flew up to the window. I mean, outside, but who the hell knows? Outside, like from my periphery, I was like,
Jay went, He was on the other side. What's going on? He's like, it's on the other side.
Yo, whatever, man. That freaked me the hell out. It would have freaked you out too.
Oh yeah. Now another funny, scary.
No, we don't need to say that
bug story.
I don't know which one you're gonna say.
We were hanging out. We went to eat Chinese or something.
No. I knew you were gonna say that one. No.
It was great. What was great about this one is. I think we had some pho or we had something, and we're walking. Some pho, and we're walking, and I walk straight.
Yeah, you didn't.
Next thing I know, Jay leaps over me. Or at least it felt like he leapt over me. And
that is not an exaggeration, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, it's a praying mantis. That thing was big as hell. And I walked right by, I didn't even see it. And Jay was like, if you had seen it, you would have jumped too.
It was funny because this I do remember from the weekend. So we had a praying mantis outside of the house. We were all like we had lunch outside on the new umbrella, whatever. So we had lunch outside, and we had a praying mantis like going up the side of the house, but it was smaller. Like it was small. It was brown. So I'm there.
Yeah, those don't scare as much.
And I'm teaching Bean about it's a praying mantis, blah blah blah. Right, but I remembered that, like seeing that praying mantis reminded me of the giant green.
It gave you that PTSD, that flashbacks. Your personal Vietnam.
Yo,
Now-
it was crazy because then we went upstairs to like to change so that he could change his clothes, and this freaking thing was on the window outside.
He smelled Jay's fear.
He's like, look, the praying mantis, Bobby. What the hell? Get out of here!
Yeah. Now, what makes these stories hilarious is that when you hear Jay talk about, and eventually I'm gonna have Jay sit down. We're really gonna kind of go through his story. But you hear Jay, talk about growing up in New York and like all the tough stuff, right? The tough stuff he did,
Thug life, life.
Thug life, man. We like fighting 20 cats at one time, Shaolin style and all this stuff.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 and then like a little grasshopper jumps at him and he runs up the handball wall. It's funny because it's true. Then it's like, I thought your favorite character was Superman, not Spider-Man.
Yo.
But only reason I can laugh about that is because I'm the same way.
Yo. That's the thing, man, right? Like
what thing you'll never find is me and Jay grabbing bugs and throwing them at each other.
Yo, you could be like the scariest thug on the planet. Like you could be Machete. You know what I mean? You could be Machete, and you see like a big old ugly insect. Yo,
yeah,
you out.
Yeah,
like I would jump.
Listen, I would
from a scary spider faster than I would like pull back from somebody with like a gun or a knife or whatever.
Right. Like
I can't explain why,
yeah,
but that's the real deal.
If there was a pit, you could throw me in a pit with 5 like Latin kings, and I'll fight to the death.
Alfredo is excusing himself.
Alfredo is leaving. He's got his man bag. He's out.
And he's your deal.
And so now you throw me in a pit with like 5 just random insects.
Yeah.
And
that's you and your mother,
and
man.
I'm done.
Yo,
I'm fighting, man.
Yeah, we fighting, and you're dead to me.
Our friendship is over. It was like, but he just threw you with a bunch of gangbangers. Nah, that's nothing.
Whatever.
That's nothing.
It's like Indiana Jones. Why do they have to be snakes? Why do they have to be?
Yes.
Yo, it's like, yo, son, I got you. Right? Your birthay's in a couple weeks, right? Yo, I got the perfect gift for you. Look, your pet tarantula.
I would.
Look, it's a pet tarantula.
I would take my gun out and shoot you. And Jay's be like, oh, whatever. I grew up in New York. I've been shot at. I was like, no, you don't seem to understand. I gotta shoot at you. Bullets are gonna touch you. Gonna penetrate your heart. But hold on a second. All right. So anyway, enough clowning about our biggest fears. If you ever meet us, don't throw bugs at us, or we'll fight you too.
I believe in a forgiving Jesus. Like real talk. I believe in a forgiving Jesus. You come at me with some bugs, I'm gonna knock you out.
Yeah, but you're gonna meet you're gonna meet a fighting devil. I don't know. So, anywho, we got a couple announcements. Why don't you go ahead and talk about the couple of weeks we got, so I can pull up this other stuff.
All right, so we actually have only one announcement, but this month's Legacy Nights falls September 30th. Hey, and it's the beginning of Rosh Hashanah. Hey,
isn't that song? Rosh Hashanah. No, it's my Sharona. Never mind.
Oh, I didn't get it. Sorry.
Anyway, I'm terrible.
Anyway, falls on the 30th this month.
Yes.
And with us, we're gonna try something a little different for Legacy Nights. We're gonna try something a little different, and we're gonna have a concert instead by the one and only
Uzuhan.
I was speaking to him earlier, and he's super excited about being able to do this.
Yeah, I'm ambivalent.
Nah, no, you're not.
I don't know. We'll see.
Nah.
I don't know about this kid.
No, you're not.
Nah, man, it's super exciting that he's gonna come and join us, and I think this is something we're gonna try to do
Every few
months. At the moment, we're gonna say every quarter. That's 4 times a year. That's every
Sure.
three. That's every 3 months.
No, I'm just gonna say every few months.
Every few months.
Right, because we're gonna see how this one turns out, right? How
Right.
it pans out.
Right.
But every few months, right? We're trying to
Every quarter.
do
Right,
things
right.
a little
Few
bit
months.
differently and
Every nickel.
and see what we can. I mean, worship nights are awesome. They've all
Correct.
been amazing. But
Just to mix it up. Just to mix it up a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah, just to mix it
You
up.
know, and if we can get some people to come to see Uzu, then we can invite them to come.
and
worship Jesus.
worship music, or worship, what is known as worship music now, is not the only way that you can worship God, right? We can worship God with some. Is that
Whistling?
right? Is that the Uzu whistle?
I can barely whistle.
I-
So it sounds like a windstorm.
Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, we can worship. Just coming together as believers.
Ready?
And and enjoying some dope hip hop, R&B, jazz,
Coffee. Oh,
soul,
yes, music.
right? Because
Yeah.
it's not, you can't.
Yeah, Uzu
You-
kind of
you-
got a little
you-
bit of everything.
you can't-
He got a little bit of that little bit of soulfulness,
Mm-hmm.
jazziness, trappiness.
Some R&B, some trap, some hip hop. So it's gonna be
so
gonna be a dope night.
It'll be fun to see, and it'll be fun to see Uzu. I don't get to see him very often.
I saw him yesterday.
So, like I said, I don't get to see him very often. I don't get invited to the cool kids parties.
Nah, it was no party. He had to come pick up his car.
But
So, yeah.
Anyway,
So so that's
so
Monday,
we got that
September
the
30th.
September 30th. So if you're in
Right,
the area,
doors open at 7:30.
mark it down.
Music starts at 8
Lock it
o'clock.
down.
Maybe.
Come early. There's food all around the courts,
Yeah, and there's coffee at the
and
spot.
there's coffee at the spot.
Yeah, we'll be at the Ice Kitchen like every month. The Ice Kitchen.
The Ice
so
Kitchen
show
every
there
month.
for the last Monday night of the month to get Legacy Nights and to be there for the music and the fellowship
Correct.
and all that. And then go there any other day of the week for some dope rolled ice cream and some dope coffee.
Yes, rolled ice cream. Have a rolled ice cream for me because I'm not allowed to eat that anymore. Wah, wah. All right, so anyway, we're excited about that. As always, we're just kind of working on stuff and excited to get some stuff finally get together now that we are going to have a solid spot for a while. So we'll be able to get to work. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into today's trailer and song of the week. So the trailer of the week is, we'll start with the trailer of the week.
Start with the trailer.
Ford v
Versus
Ferrari,
Word.
starring Matt Damon and Batman.
And Christian Bale.
Actually,
Christian Bale, because
Actually starring Jason Bourne and Batman.
No. I'm not doing that. It's like I told Mark the other day, sorry. But for me,
It's Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck will always be Batman.
Until we see what Pattinson does, which I read Kevin Smith said. I read that Kevin Smith has kind of confirmed in a way, because he says he's talked to someone in production
Okay.
that the movie will be heavily inspired by The Long Halloween.
Really?
Yes. Man, I remember Nolan used kind of parts of it, as for ideas, some of the other comics. But according to Kevin Smith, what he said when he talked to some folks, and that
I thought it was going to be inspired by Year One.
he said the Long Halloween was going to kind of be the big chunk of the inspiration, which makes sense because we've heard that they're going to have at least 3, right, of the Rogues galleries.
True.
So the Long Halloween is a perfect.
All right, so everybody
way.
that's listening, do yourself a favor and
Find the comic.
Find the comic and read it. So
Read
you
the
can
Long
be a little more
Halloween
familiar with
and
it.
then read Dark Victory, which was the follow-up.
The follow-up, yeah.
Super dope. Super
Dope.
And the Long Halloween, to
I'll
kind
get
of
them
set
tomorrow. Read them again.
Yeah, and the setup, right? The Long Halloween takes place kind of as a younger Batman, right? He's still learning the ropes. He's working with Harvey Dent. He's working with Gordon,
right.
and that's where you get Two-Face, and then all the other stuff. So
Doesn't
yeah, so
matter
that's
for
dope.
me. Doesn't matter for me. Ben Affleck is Batman. Batfleck is Batman.
And sorry. Yeah. So anyway, what were we talking about? Ford versus Ferrari.
Right. That's right. Ford versus Ferrari.
So anyway, that's the trailer of the week.
Dude, I saw the trailer this afternoon at work.
with Matt Damon and Christian Bale.
Like, I wondered why you sent it to me because I'm like, ugh, come on, man.
Dude, it's-
car movie, right? And then I watched the trailer and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this
Now-
looks like it's actually going to be good.
I've seen half of I got to go back to finish watching it. There's a documentary called The 24-Hour War. It's on Amazon Prime that deals with this story.
Really?
Yeah. So the background of the story is back in the day, Ferrari was like a boutique car company,
Okay.
and they were winning all these races.
Right.
So Ford goes to Ferrari and they want to buy them. Ford goes, hey, we want to buy you. Now Ford wants to buy them because they want to get into the racing, right? And so they're like, well, why not buy a company that's already doing it?
Right. Makes
Right?
sense.
And then so you get the name recognition. You're stepping into into this world where you're winning. You're going to be winning off the rip. Well, Ferrari says no. They kick Ford out. They're like, get out. So Ford, the CEO of Ford, he gets offended. So he says, we're going to take Ferrari on. And he hires this guy named Shelby to design a car to take on Ferrari in the Le Mans, which is the 24-hour race. I believe that's the one, the 24-hour
And
race.
if you know anything about Ford, then the name Shelby should stick out to you.
Right, because he's the guy that designed the Cobra, right? The Mustang, right?
Mustang,
of the forefather to, the Shelby Mustang,
Yep.
right? The forefather to the Mustang line. So, the movie looks fantastic. It's got two great actors.
Yep.
I can't think who's directing it, but I believe it's like a really good director. So it should be a fantastic movie.
Fantastic.
And just as an aside,
2 thumbs way up.
just an aside, Rambo comes out this weekend. I'm so excited for that movie.
Okay. There's your aside.
I said an aside. All right, so what's the song of the week?
Song of the week is Way Too Many. Way Too Many by Ada Betsabe. She is a bilingual.
Call me Ada.
You can call her Ada. Not Joaquin, but
No, I
Ada.
I call her Ada. That's what she says.
Yeah, but I'm
She
saying
says you can call me Ada. I'm
Yeah,
gonna call
but
you what you asked me.
But
to
I'm saying
you.
call her Ada, not you.
No, not call me
You said
Ada.
call me Ada.
Call me Ada. No, don't call. Oh, you can call me Ada. I guess I won't respond.
Yeah, true.
You'll be like, well,
just
you're
keep
so
walking. But you said I could call you Ada. No, but she's a bilingual. Well, I want to say rapper, reggaetonera, singer. She does it all. Based out of Boston,
Yeah,
right?
very dope.
Very
We
dope.
like her.
Very dope artist. Very dope person.
I'll take your word for that.
Yeah. You're gonna see her in Atlanta soon. We were talking yesterday and today. You're gonna see her in Atlanta soon. I mean, it might be because we bring her down here for our legacy nights, but you might see her. You'll see her in Atlanta soon.
I'll be like, can I call you Ada?
But no, she's really cool, really humble, and like she's one of the real ones on this music thing. So
Yeah. So the song is called what?
Way Too Many.
Way Too Many, featuring Nico.
Emme.
Emme. No, that's a different Emme.
The Nico M.
Nico M. But
Yeah, I love it. So featuring Nico M.
Nico M. It's so anyway, we'll put it up and it's on the playlist. Go to the playlist. You can listen to
Right,
it there.
some dope bilingual hip hop. So if you know Spanish,
check it.
enjoy it. And if you don't know Spanish,
Enjoy
learn.
it.
It's not
Yeah,
that hard to learn.
Hey, listen, you listen to that Cardi B song. I like it like that song, so you can listen to this. That's all I'm gonna say. That's what I'm saying. I'm throwing that out there.
Where's the cricket sound effects? Wait,
Crick, 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 crick. I make my own sound effects too. And actually, you don't want the cricket sound effects. You jump out of here. I'll be left alone.
No, you jump out of here too.
What's wrong with the bikes?
Most likely, you will jump out and you will push me back.
Word. Word. That's not a lie.
Yo.
It's the truth. All right. So anyway, that's what we got going on for this week, musically, movie wise, and let's just go ahead and jump into.
No.
No, you want to? All right. So we got 5 minutes. No. You want to do that story? You don't want to just jump into the Kanye thing? Because the Kanye thing is going to take us a minute.
Oh, right. I forgot about the Kanye
Yeah, so we got to talk about the Kanye thing.
I forgot about
We're going to slide the story for another day.
No, we could say the story real quick.
All right, go ahead.
So here in Georgia.
That's your story.
Here in Georgia, in Monroe.
Because you got it from WSB.
In Monroe, Georgia. Did I? Or was it from the AJC?
WSB.
Oh, word? Same. Here in Monroe, Georgia, a kid went into school with a Death Note notebook, like, a promotional thing that you can buy in any like comic book or
store,
collector, any geek store or Amazon. So walked into school with a fake notebook that said Death Note.
Right.
And
now Death Note, like you got to set it up.
Right.
Death Note is an anime.
That's right, because I'm speaking like they know what it is.
Right. Death Note is an anime from Japan.
It's an
Japan animation.
No, it's an anime
that it's about where this kid can write a name in a book, and then this monster will go and kill them.
Yeah, a demon.
Basically, right? That's the thing, right?
Right, that's
Death
the thing.
Note.
But it's fake. It's a cartoon.
Right, it's a cartoon. They
Right,
made a movie
it's
with
an anime.
live action people, but
Right.
it's still fake.
But it's still fake.
So he takes this thing to school, and what happens?
And he was told to leave. And
People freaked out.
People freaked out. It was told to leave.
He had some names in the.
No, he had no names written in the book.
I read that he had some names.
Yeah, he had no. From my understanding, he had no names written in the book. But
because it said Death Note.
yeah, you want to laugh though? You want to laugh? So there's a sound bite, right? Because a reporter went
Right.
and interviewed, and there's a lady. I'm not sure if she's a parent or if she's an employee of the school. Was talking about but that book is powerful, and no student should have that much power. I mean, it is fake, but still, no one should have that much power.
Was this person's name Alexa Luthor? Was she talking about Superman? No one should have that much power.
Like,
we must stop the Kryptonian.
So you acknowledge that it's fake, but you
it's
still
it's a lot of power. The kid looks at you.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna put your name in my book. No.
I didn't want to. I wanted to tell the story because it's kind of ridiculous.
It's like, no, my name's in the book. Is it in the book?
But it's in the Lamb's Book of Life.
Is it in the Book of Life? The Book of Life, which is a great little animated movie because it's got one of the greatest characters in the history of movies.
Could it be that guy named Joaquin? Wait a minute. Wasn't he the bad guy?
No, he was.
Oh no, the Book of Life. Yeah,
he was the jealous guy.
Right. The Book of Life. I was getting it confused with Coco.
Oh no.
Another great movie.
I had nothing to do with Coco. They asked me, but I said no.
All right, so Kanye.
So set it up.
So Kanye. Okay, so you guys know that we've been talking and warning about Kanye's Sunday service.
Correct.
And we make no apologies.
Nope, none whatsoever.
No apologies about that, and we'll continue to do so.
Yeah, and now and we're not warning because we think he's evil or because we think the Sunday service is evil.
Right. If you actually pay attention to our raving,
right,
it's
and
nothing
and ranting.
It's nothing against Kanye. Like we haven't been ranting and raving against Kanye.
Right.
We've been ranting and raving against the sycophant fans.
Sycophant.
That just jump on anybody that's a celebrity
that says Jesus.
That whole celebrity that says Jesus,
yeah,
or says God, or says bless you, right? So God forbid that you sneeze around a celebrity and they say God bless you just
And
to be
then-
polite.
and then
Oh my
everybody-
God, he's a Christian.
he's a
We gotta go. We gotta
Christian,
jump
he's a
on. We gotta
Christian,
jump
he's a
on. Right. So
That one song where he cursed like 800 times, it was really deep
Right.
message for the Lord that he was putting out there, yo.
you gotta listen between
When he was
the
talking
lines.
about selling dope, he really meant he was selling hope.
Right, when he was talking about
Wait, why was he selling hope?
when he
It's
was
free.
talking about killing somebody, that was just a metaphor
For
about
the flesh.
killing the flesh. Buckshot to the dome.
Brah,
I mean,
brah.
it's the helmet of salvation. So the buckshots to the dome
To
was
the
about
dome.
renewing my thoughts.
My thought. And when he mumbled something I didn't understand, that was him speaking in tongues because because it's not for us to understand. It's the Spirit speaking to the Lord. Yeah, man. I could go all day.
Yo, the mic was embarrassed for you. It fell down.
Nah, it wasn't.
But anyway, so Kanye was in Atlanta. He was in Atlanta. He was at
Was it New Birth Missionary?
there you go. Thank you, because I was about to ask you, what was the name of that church?
Yeah, it was Eddie Long's old church
Right. So he was at New Birth, and he
before he was no longer there.
did his. What's going on with that mic stand?
There's no way to. lock
he
the-
did his Sunday service, right? He did his
Right.
Sunday service, but he did something different this time. That from what we have seen and researched
And heard,
he,
right.
he had not done before, which is he not only sang and led. I don't know if that's a choir. I don't know what to call them. I like to call them a cult only because they all dressed in like monotone colors and kind of like spaz out.
Yeah.
But anyway, him singing and the group of musicians and singers that travel with him.
Right.
Right. But apparently this Sunday he spoke. Like he spoke.
Correct.
Like from my understanding, it's the first time.
Right. And I don't know if I sent you guys the video.
You did.
time stamped even.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, so he spoke.
Right? And I am not mad at it.
I'm not either. So me and Jay were talking about this earlier, and because I listened to it, right? Because I think Michael had tweeted out about it because DJ Michael went and he had tweeted out, like, oh, he really spoke like a preacher or whatever the tweet,
Like a Christian.
like whatever the tweet was, and then Jay told me, he's like, oh, I saw a clip or something. So, I just kind of Googled it and it was there. And I was actually the page that I found on YouTube was Kanye's page that he,
Oh, okay.
I believe it was their page, right? That he posted it up.
This afternoon I got the same link in an email, but from Relevant Magazine.
So I scrubbed through till I got to the actual, Kanye speaking part. And I mean, yes, I didn't feel that anything he said was what we would call erroneous or egregious. He said the right words.
He did.
Right? He said the right words. And
He said the right things.
But my thing is that as always, me and Jay have been around church culture long enough to see people rise and then fall once
Right.
things get tough. I mean, I remember several years ago, there was in the Spanish music world, there was a well-known was it DJ Blas?
DJ Blas. Yeah.
Right, who was like secular, like hits, right? Worked with the bigs in the scene, in the Spanish rap scene, the reggaeton scene. Came to Christ, and I think within like it was like, oh, he's a Christian now, and like what,
He put
6 months later, he put out an
He put out
album.
he put out like 2 albums, if
Right.
I'm not mistaken.
And there were dope albums.
Yeah, they were.
Because you got a dope producer.
Yep.
But what happened? Within a year, 2 years, he was gone. And he went right back to the secular. You know, why? Oh, because he wasn't making money, or he wasn't making a lot of money like he was in the secular, or maybe he felt attacked, or whatever the reasons were.
I think from my understanding, it was more of a money thing,
and I thought that's what I had remembered too. But the point is that everybody in the realm, in the kingdom, right, as far as within that demographic, we're all excited, right, because here's this secular cat who
accepted Christ, and right away started doing music. People were inviting him to come
and perform, and quote unquote minister and perform. And then within a year and a half, he might have not lasted 2 years. He was gone.
I don't remember, but you're probably right.
And so what happens? So he leaves. So what does that do? That disillusions people, right? And then vice versa. There was the Hector and father.
Yep.
Right. Who became a Christian.
Disappeared for a while.
Came back, and then he quit doing music. Now he just preaches.
Yep, now he just preaches.
And I remember we went to a concert that they had advertised that he was going to be performing, and all he did was preach.
Yep.
And people were so mad because they were kind of sold a bill of goods.
But that wasn't his fault.
That wasn't his fault.
That was the church that was promoting it as a concert.
But the point is that
because he made it clear that he wasn't doing music anymore.
Right, but I'm putting it as the point is that we throw these aspirations or these expectations on these. And
you know what people. Though? I mean, I'm gonna take it a step further and say that we demand these things, right? Because it's not like just them. Because remember, it's not just musicians. Because remember, Sting came to Christ, the wrestler.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, I don't remember Sting.
Oh, no, not the singer. Sting, the wrestler, came to Christ. Right. And right away, some rich ministry pastor bigwig caught him up and had him traveling the world, giving his testimony and speaking about all these things, and burnt them out and used him. And then he went right back. I don't know if he's not a Christian anymore. But I do know that he
kind of disappeared.
Yeah, he left. He left the preacher's tour or the preacher's circuit and all that, and went back to wrestling to get away.
Yeah, and
so a lot of times what we as a church body, as the kingdom, we tend to use these celebrities for their celebrity, and abuse them and mistreat them and force them into being in the same spotlight, in the same forefront, right.
And we try to, are you ready? And
monetize it,
and we try to ride their coattails, their platform, quote unquote, right? Because, and that really shows you kind of where our heart is a lot of times, right? Do we want these believers to be saved because we actually care about their soul, or are we doing it because we're thinking that we're gonna quote unquote, like we like to say all the time, get shine for Jesus, right? We're gonna put Jesus on a platform. I mean anything, right? When Justin Bieber stops by his church and he sings worship and it's recorded and it's spread everywhere, right? Now I will say this, that the pastors that have befriended Justin Bieber, I got to give them respect. Because they haven't been like, oh, Justin's our new worship leader, right? They haven't thrust him into that role. I guess maybe they're a little wiser than than some other folks, right?
I mean, they probably know the importance of discipleship, right? And that's the thing that we're getting to with like Kanye. So Kanye did say all the right things, but like Joaquin said, we've been around for a while. Right, there's a Spanish singer from back in the day named La Lupe, and La Lupe came to Christ. I don't know if I told you this, Quito, but La Lupe came to Christ at Rehoboth. At my old church, like a few months before she passed away, she showed up to the church and she accepted Christ, in our church. But like we knew who she was, right? We knew it was her. But nobody was like, oh, my God, yeah. We just left her alone. She accepted the Lord. We celebrated with her, of course. right? Because if you know her story, then you know that was a big kick in the face to Satan. And she would come to service, and she would sit in the back, and she would sing. Like, she would talk to a few people, and she'd get up and she would, with her driver, and she would leave.
Right.
But like nobody dared. And the pastor, Padre, was like straight, like leave her alone.
Right.
Right. Let her enjoy her newfound salvation, and like let her grow in things.
Right.
Right. And everybody just left her alone. She was just hermana, right? But then also
correct.
But then also,
Correct.
we were here, and I was talking to Juice about this this morning, right? Because those of us that are hip hop heads, we remember being welcomed into the temple of hip hop,
Right.
with KRS-One,
Right.
Like, because everybody jumped on that one.
Yeah, we all
right?
bit hard.
All of us, present people
Boy,
included.
Talk about
All of us.
discernment flying out the window.
Yo, discernment was the name of one of his tracks,
Right.
right? Like,
Right.
all of us jumped on that, and that was during the time of the Holy Hip Hop Awards and all that other stuff, right?
Right.
Like when KRS-One started saying the right things,
Right.
And
because he
saying-
joined T-Bone and he was on T-Bone's record, and then he dropped that Spiritually Minded.
Yep,
And
which is a throwback to the and it meant a lot to
was
me.
it Spiritually Minded?
It was spiritual minded, which means a lot to me because like my first ever hip hop record that I ever bought and paid for with mine and my brother's money,
Right.
was Criminal Minded, right?
Right.
So that was like my that's when I knew that for me hip hop was breath,
Right.
Was BDP. Right, when he had the group Boogie Down Productions and his first
That was their
LP
first record. Yeah.
LP, because I had the big LP, was Criminal Minded. So when I see KRS talking about Jesus and dropping an album called Spiritual Minded,
Right.
yo, I played that
Yeah.
on loop.
Right. Because I mean
Right,
that's one
for
of the
months.
because that's arguably one of the top 5 MCs in hip
He's
hop.
on if you're a hip hop head, then he's on your top 5. And he's on your top 5.
Yeah. So but then slowly.
We saw his true colors
Right.
shining through.
Who was that? I remember the song.
That's Cyndi Lauper, man.
Cyndi Lauper. No, that was Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, Cyndi Lauper, the original.
I thought there
was
was.
Cyndi
I
Lauper.
thought there was. Maybe I think
That's why I
someone
use
else.
that. That's why I use that crazy voice.
But
Right?
and then we saw his. Yeah, then we saw like that. His what he meant by spiritually minded was something completely different.
Something completely satanic.
The opposite. Right? He was like co-opting Christian theology or Christian
beliefs and ideals
and mixing it with like the whatever 5%ers, all that kind of
and
mishmash,
and the
Afrocentric
stuff.
Yeah. So
Woo!
that's why I am like, yo, like I'm still I'm gonna reserve, right? I'm gonna reserve. I'm still gonna kind of look at it with a wary eye, because what happens when he does hit that turbulence, that is coming, right? Because right now everything is lovey-dovey. You got T.I. and 2 Chainz and Khaled and all these people showing up to his Sunday service, but what happens if he is serious? What happens when times get tough, right? What's he gonna do then? That's unfortunately, that's kind of how we see,
and
whether or not that's how we're gonna see how real it is, right?
but also that's where our concern is, because like when I saw the clip that Joaquin sent, and I saw the whole thing through, I listened. I didn't watch it so much as I listened to it.
Right.
And I'm not gonna lie, like I was like, okay, like he's saying the right things, right?
Correct.
Especially when and he went above and beyond when he was like, let me make things clear, right? I'm talking about Jesus, right? And not just any guy, not spiritual. I'm talking
Right.
about Jesus, because okay, that's kind of bold, right? We know Christian pastors that wouldn't be as bold as saying stuff like that, right?
In the church.
Right, especially the church, especially prosperity gospel church. But hey, that's a topic for another for another episode. But right. So then, as far as I know, and maybe you know differently, Joaquin, but as far as I know, he's not going to a church.
Right.
This is the church that
Right.
he's going to, the thing that he's trying to create, the new thing
Right.
that he's trying to create.
Right.
So then my fear is
It becomes about the new thing he's trying to create.
when you, as you said, when the tide rises, right, and the tribulations come, right, and the rejection comes, because the Bible says
It'll come.
that the Bible speaks on it, right, when
Right.
the rejection comes from friends, from family, from loved ones, from the fans, right, who's discipling him?
Right.
Like, who's discipling him to help him be prepared, or to
Right.
teach him
Or-
to be
or-
prepared,
or-
to
or-
be standing on the rock, to be
Right.
leaning in onto the Holy Spirit, right?
I'll say it this way.
Who's discipling him?
Are those pastors that he's friends with that like to, stand next to him,
Right.
talk about, hey, Kanye's my friend.
I'll do it. Rich Jr. Is Rich Jr. discipling
Is
him?
he discipling him?
You know what? Let me-
Is he seriously discipling him?
Let me reach out to him and see if he'll
That's
if he'll join us on the podcast
he-
and let us know.
He probably will. He'll be like, nah, these guys can ask us tough questions.
Nah, he probably will. He probably will.
He probably
Who
will.
knows?
He probably will. We don't got the listens. We don't have the clout. Not yet. But when we do, we will not abuse it.
Or will we?
Or will we? No. We're easily corruptible. No. So
easy.
So yeah. So that's the thing. Is
You
he?
can corrupt us with tacos.
And that's the thing, or ribeyes and ribs and brisket. And that's the thing that I'm always concerned about, because I do hope that it is real, and I do hope that
For the sake of his soul,
right. I
we
do
hope
that
that
it
it's
is real.
real.
But I also think of all these kids that we know, and the kids that are like them, that are caught up in this because they're a fan.
right?
That they can be led astray,
Right.
And I don't want to see them get hurt because
And led astray.
because this guy, when things got rough, all of a sudden was like, well, I'm not making like that DJ Blast guy. Well, I'm not making enough money, so I'm just gonna go back to what I was doing.
And from my understanding, he is footing the bill on all of this
Right.
Sunday service stuff.
Right.
Right, like
he's got.
Yeah,
Jobs.
no, but still, we know
He probably shakes his couch out, and that's where he gets the money from.
we know, or at least I can say that I know, believers that are millionaires and multimillionaires, and they would still rather ask for
Sponsors.
sponsorship or an offering or whatever, rather than put up their own money.
Right. So.
Right, so
Here's
something to be said.
And here's the cynical me where it goes, yeah, but is he? It's also an investment he's making, because he's about to drop an album,
And he announced it today.
right? He's about to drop an album.
Did you get that?
Yeah, you sent it to me. Yeah, he's about to drop an album, and you can't tell me that gobs and gobs of people aren't going to go buy that album to see what he's.
No, I don't think they're gonna buy it. Why? They can stream it on Apple Music and Spotify.
You know what I mean.
But
He's still getting paid for those streams.
in 2 weeks, is it 2 weeks? Yeah, next week. Woo! Next week, September 27th, he is going to drop an album called "Jesus Is King."
Right.
So CHH is going to lose their collective minds,
mind. If they haven't already, with the announcement of the name of the album.
right?
Right,
They're
so-
going to lose their collective mind.
So he's gonna have
Watch Lecrae have a feature on it. He ain't tell nobody.
right. He's gonna have record sales on this. He's gonna sell.
'Cause,
He's
I
gonna
mean-
sell records.
I mean, you remember that
people still buy records, Jay. He's gonna sell
that
records.
Lecrae did speak about him like reaching out to him and speaking to him.
Right. So,
Right. So hey, who knows?
you know, anyway, the point is
Yo,
that,
Cray, if you did do that and you ain't tell me, man, we beefing.
wow, I'm beefing with you already. I ain't even met you. If Jay beefs, we beef.
Not that he listens to us, but still, man.
Just in case one of your minions listens. Hashtag beef with Lecrae.
No, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm curious to listen to this album.
Yeah, we might have to sit down and like dissect it.
Really dissect it.
Right.
But
With a
after
fine-tooth
and if it wasn't because of Sunday, I would not have cared.
Right.
Right? Yeah. I would have been like, yeah, you see, I knew it. There you go. He used it. He used the platform. Now he's got this Jesus is King album, and you're all a bunch of suckers. Right? But
that still might be the case.
I mean, yeah, it still might be the case, but still, like,
So Jay's gonna be the optimist. I'm gonna be
I'm gonna be the optimist because
I'm gonna be the
number one,
cynic.
Number one,
Cynic that I am.
right? Jesus loves Kanye. Right? Jesus loves Kanye. And God does not want to see Kanye's soul lost. Right?
Right. I don't either.
So no. But I'm saying
like I do.
No. I'm saying
God
like,
doesn't want his
because
Joaquin, on the other hand,
because of that, yeah, I'm optimistic for the fact that he repented and he gave his life to Christ. Right? If he's gonna use the industry, you know, to like fool Christians, then, you know, that's on him and that's between him and God.
Right.
But I am optimistic in the fact that I was told that his conversion is real, that he truly did repent and give his life to Christ. Right? So I'm happy about that. I'm excited about that. I'm also excited that if he does get like actual discipleship, yeah, and he drops this album and it's a like old school gospel, real evangelical outreach, crying out to God album, dude, like it'll be as life changing as that over that millions of views video of Bieber leading worship at his church a couple weeks ago, right?
No, right, and don't get it twisted, right? It's not that I'm hoping that he does that. It's, you know, I'm not sitting here going, I'm just hoping that it's what I think it is, right? I mean, that's not my thing. My thing is I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait because I've seen it. We've seen it way too many times. You get the hype, then as soon as the album gets released or whatever that part of that hype is, whether with the wrestlers or with the athletes or whatever, and then turbulence hits, and all of a sudden faith is nowhere to be found.
Right.
You know, and I'm just, you know, I hope it all comes to fruition where God is given glory. But I'm not, and I think this is the thing, right? I'm not pinning my hopes on Kanye. And I think a lot of people are. Right. We got to be very, very careful about pinning our hopes on a dude just because he's famous and because he got a platform and because he's saying all the right things. Just like I would hope you don't try to pin any kind of thing on me like I'm some kind of hope for you, right? The hope is Jesus.
Are you not a hope dealer?
I'm just, no, man. I use my own product. I don't even know what that means. How do you use hope? But anyway, so that's that. We ended up we didn't really want to talk about Kanye so much, but he was in our backyard and we had to.
Yeah, he was. He was here,
and we had to address what he said because we talked about last week. Well, what's he saying?
Supposedly.
So do you just want to set up for next week, or do you want to try to kind of touch on?
I think I just want to set up for next week.
All right, so we got these next about 5-10 minutes. Is that about right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't you go ahead
about 5 minutes.
So go ahead and set it up.
So if anything, then I'll also drop my Beyond 90 Seconds video that I've been trying to drop since last week, but other things have happened. So
yeah, that verse still works for today.
So last week, I mean, if you're a believer and you've been on a mission trip this whole time, and maybe they're not even, a very well-known pastor, Pastor Jared Wilson, took his own life.
Yes.
And it has created ripples.
Right.
Right? It has impacted many. And I'll be honest with you. Like, I knew of him, but like he wasn't really on my radar.
Right.
But apparently, like 80% of the people that I'm connected to and that I know, like, knew him personally.
Right.
Right. And have interacted with him. And, you know, so
that's how I found out about him passing.
Yeah, you found out through Michael,
right? Because Michael posted something about, you should go see someone if you're feeling whatever and blah blah blah. And I was like, what is he like? It was out of left field for me. I was like, what are you talking about? And so, kind of through that, I found out.
Yeah, so I found out through
pastor.
A post from No Big Deal.
Right.
Right. So it's like one of those things, and then
right, and then the fact that the fact that he had a ministry that was reaching out and trying to work with folks that were struggling with
suicidal thoughts,
thoughts and feelings and that kind of depression and that kind of thing.
So I wanted to do a 90-second video, exposing my my own struggle,
right,
that I've had for years and years with depression and fighting against the suicidal thoughts and stuff. Right. But I couldn't do it because then the suicide thing hit closer to home.
Correct.
Because one of the students that's connected to
some of the students through Legacy Worship,
Legacy Nights and Legacy Worship and stuff, like, also took his life on Friday. So, like, everything then just like came at a screeching halt, and that's why I don't remember doing anything this weekend, because Magda and I have been
counseling some of those kids that were calling. Yeah,
right. They've been coming to the house, and we've been counseling those kids, and we have more coming, like, tomorrow and Friday and stuff. Right. So, so we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about not so much focus on suicide, on the topic of suicide. I mean, we are going to touch on it. Yeah. But I think it's more important that we speak about the fear, losing the fear of asking for help.
Well, I think for me, I'm going to have some stuff marked because I think it's important for us to. I think suicide is one of those things that we're like, oh, it's bad.
Right.
But I don't think we really realize how bad it is.
Right.
One of the statistics.
A lot of us say that it's bad only because of the Catholic belief of it being a cardinal sin.
Right.
Right. So
like, just quickly, one of the statistics I saw, like, I think it's like number 10 in what takes lives every year, right?
Wow.
And so I do on my half aspect of it, I do want us to look at some statistics to kind of paint a broader picture
and give a better understanding,
and hopefully give a better understanding, because, like I said, we'll have numbers next week, but it's right now it's one of the main killers of men
in general,
which me and Jay being men, and who have had these thoughts and these struggles and whatever. It's concerning, right? Because we have a generation of men of all ages that are taking their lives, and we're not, and we got to figure out how do we deal with this? How do we make it less, right? Because, like anything, you're not going to be able to get rid of it 100%,
right?
But how do we impact people's lives to where either A, you're not afraid to ask for help, or B, you're not afraid to insert yourself into someone's life to help them, right? Because I think a lot of times we don't want to, right? We're like, well, they're dealing with something, so I'm just going to let them, and when they're ready, they can come to me. And sometimes I wonder if maybe it's not that we need to be a little more dogged and proactive and being like, hey, man, let's talk. I see you're struggling. and looking for that. So we're going to kind of hit all those. Hopefully we'll be able to hit kind of some of those points next week and try to figure out, maybe we can figure out together, maybe what are some steps that we can take to try to be a positive light in the lives of those around us that might be struggling with depression, that might be struggling with these things that ultimately, right? Because depression ultimately leads alienation, all these things, factors that might lead someone to either commit violence towards others or violence towards themselves.
And the impact that it makes
on family and friends. So what's the verse that you sent me?
Hold on, let me.
Because I thought, it really encapsulates a lot of things.
I wanted to talk about hope, right? So it was Romans 8:24 and 25 that says, "For in this hope we were saved. Now hope that is seen is not hope. For who hopes for what he sees? But if we hope for what we do not see, we wait for it with patience."
So as we leave you guys today, as we leave, this is what we do, right? We kind of have an idea and we get a little sidetracked sometimes, but hope is the thing, right? Hope, we talked about hope that Kanye's heart really is changed. Hope that Kanye, walks this path. Hope that that we don't allow ourselves to be fooled by others, but that we hold to Scripture and we hold to God and we hold to the Word as our guiding principle, right? Not a famous person or a pastor that we like, or Jay, or heaven forbid me, disregard me, but hope. Hope is the thing that we have to, hold on to. Hope is the thing that we have to seek. Hope is the thing we have to hold on to, right? Hope that no matter what's going on in our lives, God will make it. God will get us through it. Not make it better, not give us victory necessarily, but that God will guide us through it. At least that's my thoughts. Jay, close it out.
Well, no, because I can't close it out because we're going to keep this one open for next week.
Well, at least close it out so we can hit the ending.
Yeah, so we're going to go back to the whole Kanye thing, right? Kanye dropped the news that next week he's going to drop an album called Jesus is King. And as Joaquin was saying, as far as hope is concerned, right, we hope that since he acknowledges Jesus as King in his life and in his heart, that we as believers, right, Jesus is also our King. So this automatically makes Kanye our brother.
Yes.
Right. So we ask that, those that have stood with him and supported him from the jump, right off the cuff, and those of us, like Joaquin and I, who've been leery and kind of skeptic, that regardless of anything, we recognize together that he's still somebody who needs our prayer and that we pray for him. Because I just read the track listing, like the song titles, and I'm just like really pray for the Holy Spirit to really lean in and hold this man up. So pray for Kanye. That's how I'm going to close. Pray for Kanye.
Pray for Kanye.
Hashtag pray for Kanye.
Hashtag pray for Kanye. Hashtag hope dealers. No, hashtag. See y'all next week. Thank you for joining us. Remember, place your hope not in man, but on Christ, so that he can guide you through.
Word.
Whatever it is you got going on this week. And until next week, I'm Joaquin.
And I'm still Jay.
Peace.
Thanks for listening. Remember to go to theoverflowpodcast.com to subscribe to the podcast on all streaming platforms and catch up on all the links of the week. And don't forget to follow our playlist on Spotify.